गुड इवनिंग दोस्तों। चैनल आईएस थिंक टैंक पे आपका हार्दिक स्वागत है। मैं आपका फ्रेंड पार्थ। जैसा कि मैंने आपको बताया था कि मैं हर वीक एक दो इश्यूज जो बर्निंग इश्यूज है उसको लेकर आऊँगा। उस पे आपके व्यूज़ तो नहीं जानूँगा, पर मैं अपने व्यूज़ रखूँगा और ओवरऑल आपको ओवरव्यू दूँगा कि उस इश्यू में क्या है, क्या प्रोज़ है, क्या कॉन्स है। मतलब आप कह सकते हो एक तरह से आपके मीन्स रिलेटेड आइडिया बिल्ड करूँगा, है ना? नॉट एग्ज़ैक्टली मीन्स, मैं आपको इश्यू बस डिस्कस कर रहा हूँ। कुछ आपको गुमनामी चीज़ों को भी लाऊँगा, कुछ रहस्यमय चीज़ों को भी लाऊँगा, है ना? जिसमें मैं आपसे फ्रीली बात करूँ, नॉट एज़ पर द सिलेबस ओनली। तो आज आप देख सकते हैं मेरे पीछे एक हेडिंग है, सुप्रीम कोर्ट वर्सेस डोगेश भाई। बहुत ही ज़्यादा बवाल रहा इस पर लेकर के, इतना बवाल हुआ कि अंत में डोगेश भाई लोग की जीत हुई और इवन सुप्रीम कोर्ट को भी झुकना पड़ गया, है ना? तो एक बार जैसा कि आपको पता है, इस सेशन को मैं कंप्लीटली इंग्लिश में करता हूँ, पर कुछ लोग का रिक्वेस्ट आया था कि थोड़ा इसे हिंदी भी बोलिए, देश में कई हिंदी भाषी लोग भी हैं। तो मैं इट विल बी काइंड ऑफ इंग्लिश काइंड ऑफ सेशन। जैसा कि मैंने ट्रम्प टैरिफ एंड डांस ऑफ जियो पॉलिटिक्स किया था, उसे बहुत अच्छा रिस्पॉन्स आपकी तरफ से आया था। तो मैं उसी तरीके से इसको लाऊंगा, पर दैट वाज टोटली इन इंग्लिश। दिस विल बी अ गुड मिक्सचर ऑफ हिंदी एंड इंग्लिश, है ना? मोर इंक्लिनेशन टुवर्ड्स इंग्लिश ओनली। तो लेट अस बिगिन। यू कैन सी दिस इज सुप्रीम कोर्ट, दिस इज द डॉगेस गैंग, है ना? तो वेरी फर्स्ट थिंग, ऑन अगस्त 11, ना, ऑन अगस्त 11, let me on August 11, Supreme Court's on August 11, Supreme Court's two judges bench, having one of the very you can say very laureate and very scholarly judge. You must have heard, if you have read the Hindu or Indian Express, or you have followed the Indian news since few months. Justice Pardiwala, consisting of Justice Pardiwala, gave a very irrational, according to me, this was an irrational decision, gave a very irrational decision. And that irrational decision was, first of all, I am giving you overview. Irrational decision was to shelter all the stray dogs in at shelter homes. See, I will not be writing much. I will be mainly explaining little bit. On August 11, two division bench of Supreme Court delivered a verdict that all the stray dogs of Delhi NCR, mainly Delhi, should be moved to stray dogs where they will be vaccinated, sterilized, and permanently kept and taken care of. Now, this decision was heavily criticized, and it was basically portrayed as a struggle between mass struggle between two groups, one dog lover group and one, you can say, one group advocating for human rights. Because in the last few months or years, we have seen a number of demises, a number of deaths due to rabies or due to dog bite. So this, there was a heavy criticism also from the people belonging to, from animal rights activists and from people belonging to PETA. You know PETA, people for ethnic treatment of animals. And also a number of protest also got erupted. So seeing this hue and cry, court again listened to the court again heard the matter, and on August 22, 2 days 3 days back, it said that okay, I can understand that the previous day, now this was a three bench, three judges bench. So Supreme Court not overturned its decision, it slightly modified its decision, which I think was wise, because many even animal activists are now happy, like Menaka Gandhi, MP, member of parliament, who has always been who has always been an advocate for the animal rights. Even she praised this. So three judges bench, they said that we are going to modify the decision. Now the dogs will be taken to shelter homes. They will be vaccinated, or you can say sterilized, vaccinated, and will be returned to back to streets, back to, you can say, their dadagiri wala area or mohallas, except aggressive dogs and rabid dogs, those who are infected with rabies virus. So now this is the overview. This is the overview of the whole matter, whole issue that was created in the matter of Supreme Court versus Dogesh Bhai. Now let us see. First of all, we see in two parts. First, the first decision, how it was correct and how it was not correct, whether it was wise or not. So let us move to the next slide. Decision of August 11 decision. Decision of August 11. Wise or not? Then we will move to final verdict, and then I'll also give my opinion. Yes, it was wise. Now the proponents of this theory, that whether this decision was correct or not, they say that firstly, seeing the public safety, this was a wise decision on the part of Supreme Court. Secondly, according to the proponents of this theory, according to the proponents of according to the supporters of this verdict, the dogs will be taken care of in shelter homes. Third, they will be vaccinated. So this is also part of taking care of, and vaccination will reduce any sort of zoonotic diseases. Fourth, they will be sterilized, so that is going to control their check overpopulation. So the primary logic was this only, public safety, public safety. So these were the basically points. These were the basically points regarding that whether this decision is good or not. And even there was one more logic, that this will promote adoption. See, many people try to adopt dogs, so they move to buy from some pet shop, but now they can move to the shelter homes and they can adopt a dog of their choice. So these were some of the you can say logic behind whether the decision is wise or not. Now, who are the opponents of this? Mainly the animal right activists. What they were saying, according to them, this looks very fancy. This looks very fancy. Even I am also in this side only. I am not basically a big dog lover. But the first decision, I was not in favor of first decision. Why? Let me tell you. First of all, although this looks very good, but only on paper. India almost has 60 million stray dogs. Do you think that it is possible to have shelter home forms all for all dogs? This is not practically feasible, although it is feasible on paper. Second thing, dogs are territorial animals, है ना? Dogs are territorial animals. So you can say if a dog of your stray dog of your mohalla encounters another dog coming from other mohalla, there is a very fierce fight. So territorial animal. So there will be fierce battle between the dogs, leading to deaths, and leading to deaths means violation of fundamental duty of even us, violation of animal rights, and not only violation of human rights, animal rights, but also violation of fundamental duty, because Constitution Article 51A gives us a duty to have compassion for the living creatures. Third, overpopulation of dogs, this will lead to basically zoonotic diseases, and once these zoonotic diseases will spread, this will also affect mankind, and if they are in bulk, it is very difficult to contain if the disease is spread. Now, due to zoonotic disease, there will be huge death of dogs. Then there will be problem for disposing their carcasses. मरने के बाद जो बॉडी होती है, carcasses disposing. There will be huge problem of disposing their carcasses. Now there will be problem of disposing their carcasses. Again, this disposing, since in India the disposal sites are not very away from the residential colonies, So this is again going to affect mankind. So ultimately, it is we, the mankind, who is going to be the worst sufferer, not the dogs, by this decision, earlier decision, I would like to say. Okay. Apart from this, there were other issues also. Other issues like this was not long term solution. Not long term solution. Why not long term solution? You are going to case the dogs of Delhi. What will you do if stray dogs from UP, nearby UP areas, or from Haryana or Rajasthan are going to enter the Delhi region? Now don't say that you are going to make a wall between US and Mexico to stop the dogs from surrounding areas from entering Delhi. This is not practically feasible. So after all, this was not practical. This decision was not at all practical. Okay. Apart from this, similar thing was adopted in USA. In USA, similar thing was adopted. I would like to mention its name, and that failed miserably. Pound system. Pound system in USA. A similar system was adopted and it failed. So, US, United States of America, a country with much more resources than India, a country which is much more organized than India, a country which is much more developed than India, if such kind of system fails in United States, then how it's very, you can say, bizarre to assume that it is going to be a successful test in India. Maybe, but very low probability for that. Now coming to, then what should we do? What is your opinion? Why we should imitate countries like USA? Why we cannot imitate the models of India only? Let us see a case study of Jodhpur. Jodhpur adopted sterilization, no shelter home, but sterilization of stray dogs, mohalla by mohalla, and it is quite successful. You can also check the Google. It is quite successful in reducing the cases of dog bites, in reducing the even dog fights, and in reducing their population, and in reducing the spread of rabies. Okay, so why we should not follow this model? Okay, so personally, I was also against the earlier decision of Supreme Court. Also, one very important point, according to one, you can say, anthropologist, I don't remember the name. According to her, stray dogs are basically part of urban economy. If they are moved out of ecosystem, urban economy, urban ecosystem, if they are moved out of urban ecosystem, what is going to happen? This will lead to a very huge increase in the number of cats, monkeys, rodents, because they are kind of scavengers also. They are also scavengers. They are also scavengers. So this is going to create an imbalance in the food web also. So although prima facie it appears that we are going to protect our children, but this is not, even then, very large, you can say, very large risk is knocking at the door of the children. Although prima facie this looks very good decision. Now the question arises, then what we should do? We should allow dogs to be in the mohalla and biting children, and children getting killed due to rabies? No, not at all. There is some solution, and that solution, even Supreme Court has given that solution. That is ABC model. Solution. Let us talk about solution. ABC model. Animal birth control model. This was followed in Jodhpur, I have already told. Now, now Supreme Court gave, I have already told about the verdict, that they will be taken, sterilized, vaccinated, and will be left in their own mohallas. Now, this is a wise decision. The 20th, according to me, the 23rd August decision, this is a wise decision, and not only wise decision, you can see even the protest that had erupted has also died. Also, many animal rights activists have now said that this is good decision. Why this is good decision? This is evidence-based decision. Next, already we have seen success of such model in Jodhpur. Next, this is a scientific and evidence based. It is in line with ABC protocol, that is animal birth control model protocol. Also, anything in democracy is successful when public has its support behind it, and we have seen no even animal activists are praising this, so this has public support. So, and last but not the least, but the best part, this will lead to public safety, because even if a vaccinated dog is going to bite someone, there is a very least chance that they are going to be infected by rabies, leading to their deaths. So this is a wise decision. However, some hardcore animal activists are still criticizing this decision. Now, see, we should be tolerant. We should know even their view. Now, someone says, "Sir, ये तो गलत है, but ठीक है, उनका view है, तो we should know." आप IAS की तैयारी कर रहे हैं, you should know every aspect. हर गलत से गलत चीज में भी अच्छी चीज ढूंढना सीखिए. मैं आपको एक बात बता रहा हूं, मेंस अगर निकालना है तो हर गलत से गलत चीज में भी अच्छी चीज ढूंढने की कोशिश करिए, और हर अच्छी से अच्छी चीजों में भी गलत चीज ढूंढने की कोशिश करिए. यही एक मैं लाइन में कह दूं, मेंस का एक्चुअली फलसफा है, और एक सिविल सर्वेंट का, भले में नहीं बन पाया, एक सक्सेसफुल सिविल सर्वेंट का एक्चुअल ट्रेट्स है. ठीक है. तो अगर मैं नेक्स्ट बात करूं आपको किस चीज की, 23rd, हाँ, क्या बात कर रहा था कि भाई क्यों कुछ लोग स्टिल क्रिटिसिज्म हो रही है इस डिसीजन की. इस डिसीजन की स्टिल क्रिटिसिज्म क्यों हो रही है, आइए हम लोग समझते हैं. इस डिसीजन की क्रिटिसिज्म होने के पीछे कारण है, पहला, कि एग्रेसिव वर्ड जो यूज किया गया है, जो एग्रेसिव वर्ड यूज किया गया है वो एक वेग है. हाउ द कोर्ट और द अथॉरिटीज आर गोइंग टू डिसाइड विच डॉग इज अग्रेसिव एंड विच इज नॉट. Aggression is something relative. Maybe I am, while teaching, is very normal. Maybe if I encounter someone in a road race, I may become very aggressive. So quantifying or identifying aggressiveness is a very vague thing. How you are going to identify? Second, huge infrastructure. Huge vaccines will be required, which I don't think कि India has that much resources. Not much resources. अब इतना भी रिसोर्स नहीं है कि कुत्ते को सुई लगाने में दे दिया जाए. यहाँ तो बच्चों को ही इतनी सुई नहीं लग पा रही है. आप जाके देखिए उड़ीसा, झारखंड, बंगाल वगैरह में, तो इतना तो पैसा है ही नहीं. तीसरी चीज कि जो भी एनजीओज हैं या जो भी आपके शेल्टर होम्स हैं या डॉग से एनिमल से रिलेटेड है, वो ऑलरेडी वेरी ओवर स्ट्रेस्ड है, ऑलरेडी स्ट्रेस्ड हैं. तो उनसे ये उम्मीद नहीं लगाई जा सकती है कि वो डॉगों को पकड़ करके इतना एफिशिएंटली वैक्सीनेट करेंगे. और अगर ऐसा नहीं होगा तो अगेन जो केस आएगा वो पब्लिक सेफ्टी का आएगा, है ना. लास्टली, जो ऑलरेडी ये जो एनजीओज हैं, इनके पास शॉर्टेज ऑफ फंड्स हैं. आप देख सकते हैं 2014 के बाद, आई एम नॉट एक्यूजिंग एनी गवर्नमेंट, पर 2014 के बाद फंड की एनजीओ के पास शॉर्टेज है. ठीक है. इसके अलावा सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने कहा कि अलग अलग फीडिंग जोन्स बनाई जाएगी. उस फीडिंग जोन्स में आप कुत्ते को खिला सकते हैं. बाहर के, इफ यू आर feeding dog somewhere else place, there will be case registered against you. You will be fined also. So identifying, yeah, you can say zoning of feeding zones. This is also a very huge gigantic task. This is a Herculean task. ठीक है. तो इतना आसान नहीं है इसको इंप्लीमेंट करना. अब मुझे ऐसा लग रहा है कि कहीं ना कहीं ये जो पूरा मुद्दा ये दब जाएगा और ये बिल्कुल कहानी वैसी हो जाएगी. हालांकि वैसा होना भी सही नहीं है. ऑल्सो मैं फाइनली यही फिर फाइनल कंक्लूजन क्या है, आप तो दोनों तरह की बात कर रहे हैं, बिल्कुल दोनों तरह की बात कर रहे हैं. हमें एनिमल राइट्स, ह्यूमन राइट्स को बैलेंस करके चलना है. तो मेरे हिसाब से जो फाइनल वर्दी कंक्लूजन होगा इस चीज का, वो यही होगा कि दिस डिसीजन इज वाइज. द सुप्रीम कोर्ट, द वर्डिक्ट ऑन टेकन बाय सुप्रीम कोर्ट ऑन 23rd August is very wise, and somewhere it has done, Supreme Court has tried to balance the animals rights, animals ethics towards animals with public rights and public safety. But there is still a question whether this is going to be successful or not. So according to me, the success of this verdict or the success of this decision is totally going to lie on the matter as to how the resources, the limited resources, are being augmented, increased and how these limited resources are being used honestly. Why I am saying, because there is also a chance of corruption in India in every you can say relief work. So how these limited resources are augmented and utilized efficiently and honestly in creating separate zones, in sterilizing and vaccinating dogs. So success totally depends on this, how this program is being implemented. If this program is being implemented finely, I can say at least above 50% efficiency, no doubt. Not all the cases of stray dog bites, but we are going to see a reduction in it, as we have already seen in the case of Jodhpur, Rajasthan. And if this is not going to be done, then again, despite all these cases and hue and cry and all this propaganda and tamasha, the thing is going to remain same on the ground, that there will be stray dogs, there will be fighting between them with respect to scanty foods available, with respect to their territorial jurisdiction, and we are going to see people getting died due to rabies, due to dog bites, etc. So I hope I have tried to give you major insights into the issue, and see, this was not according to मेंस आंसर, वरना मैं आपको इंट्रो कंक्लूजन बताता, बस मैं आपको दिखा रहा हूँ कि मेंस में हम कितने डीप इनसाइट्स तक जा सकते हैं, है ना। इसी तरह से इश्यूज और भी कुछ अच्छी अच्छी कहानियां लेके आऊंगा हिस्ट्री से, कुछ रहस्यमयी चीज की, जैसे होमी जहांगीर बाबा की डेथ कैसे हुई और क्या था, नेताजी और गुमनामी बाबा कौन थे, इस तरह से लाऊंगा ताकि थोड़ा आपका ओवर, बाकी पढ़ाई तो चल ही रही है ना। ठीक है, इसी के साथ आपसे विदा लेता हूं। चैनल को लाइक शेयर सब्सक्राइब जरूर करते रहें, है ना, और जितना हो सके आप चैनल को शेयर करेंगे उतना ही हमारे लिए अच्छा होगा, उतना ही चैनल ग्रो होगा। इसी के साथ आपसे विदा लेता हूं, जुड़े रहें चैनल से, ठीक है। आप कहीं पढ़ते रहें पर हमसे जरूर जुड़े रहें, एज अ फ्रेंड, है ना, एज ए कलीग। इसी के साथ आपसे एज ए स्टूडेंट, एज ए डिसाइपल। इसी के साथ आपसे विदा लेता हूं। जय हिंद, जय भारत, भारत माता की जय।